Effects are definitely like such a big part in melodies. Once I show you the effects that are on this melody and how much it changed it, is kind of gonna be crazy because it really goes from like a super simple melody to just having like a few effects on it, and it completely changes it. It doesn't even sound the same. The last video got so much positive feedback. I really appreciate you guys supporting, and since it did so well, I thought let's dive into another one. But let me break down a simple melody that came out crazy, and then we'll add drums to it to finish off the video, since the last one was just a straight melody video. So this is the final sample we're gonna be working with. You could already hear Future all over that. Let me show you the first thing we use inside of Analog Labs, the factory stock presets and banks that come with it. I haven't got anything, so this one already comes with it. And then all I did for the chords, so I pretty much played the C sharp minor chord. We start off with this, and if we flatten the middle note, right? Pretty simple. So I inverted a few of the notes. So pretty much it went like this. And then this literally just gets repeated over and over again till we get to here. And then over here, it's the same thing, but I just brought it up 5 semitones. So we go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once we throw the effects on it, it kind of does so much to it that you don't even really need to do anything after that. Now we throw it on. Like, bruh, how it adds a whole different layer to it. Then we go over here. It's as if like pretty much we just created, to me it sounds like a bunch of different things layered. So I use Shaper Box on this. We have a time, then we have a filter, and then we have a pan. And the two that are going to be doing the most, well honestly they all kind of are, but this time knob is really doing like the most to it. If I were to take that off and then we just have the filter and pan, this is what it sounds like. So it is adding a little bit of movement to it, right? But the time one's really taking it to the next level. And then I threw an EQ on it, and we're cutting out some lows and a pretty good amount of the high end too, honestly. Almost everything up to 6K is cut out, what, 6.3. And then I have vintage reverb on it, and it's a pretty big decay time, about 4 seconds. And the mix is pretty high up. And really when I did that, I was like, this really just needs like a few extra things to it. So I added like a string, I added a little bit of arcade, and I'm gonna show you those. So now that we have that, the next thing I added was arcade. It's like a quick little vocal, right? But it's also ran into that Shaper Box and stuff. So I just like to get creative sometimes and do something random. This is just Zenith Falls inside of Arcade. And if you're interested in Arcade, they have a free trial version of it. I have a link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. Shout out to Output for that. Let's take this off and just listen to it by itself. With it. Right, sounds pretty boring. Then we throw the effects back on, and then it's just does crazy stuff to the vocal too. And then I have one more vocal that I called Effect. This is actually from that Mysteria bank that I showed you guys inside of Arcade a while ago. And the reason I exported it was because I needed to have it as kind of like a one shot so I could pitch it around. You can't really play out melodies or chords with it. It's kind of just used for like scoring or something or adding. So I try to find one note that kind of has a consistent tone, and it's linked into its own EQ, which just cuts out a little bit of highs and lows. And that's this right here. Let me turn it up a little bit. Right? Nothing crazy, pretty simple. And then the last one we have is an Analog Lab string. I really like this string. I was actually gonna get like a violin from somewhere else, but I found Dream Strings, and that's just playing 2 notes. And that is also being ran into, again, as you could guess, Effects 2 processing. So let's see without it. As you could see, it's really gonna change it. Nice little string, right? Nothing too crazy. Then we turn the effects on. So really it's just kind of doing like a halftime because that note's really short. Watch how boring this part is right here if I take all of this processing off. Effects are definitely like such a big part in melodies. Like, it's like magic. Like, let's hear it one more time. Hold on, like, boring, doesn't really make sense. like already ready to be used as a beat. And we're gonna make something crazy with this, some like future type vibe to it. All right, so I got the drums loaded in. Step one, we need to go to the master track and we need to put a soft clipper on this so that we can push that 808 in, get that nice distortion out of it, especially when it's layered with that short open hi-hat. And then over here I have hit one open. I love this hi-hat for these types of beats. Then I have a few drums from Resupply. We got the snare, we have 2 open hi-hats, and then we have an 808. So the ones with LS are from my Resupply drum kit. It has lifetime free updates. So that's like the best thing about it, honestly. And it's already on update number 2, I believe. There's been 2 updates dropped, or it's on the second version. And the third update's coming real soon. So let's go into the sample. And to give this, like, I want it to have a future vibe, kind of dark, kind of simple on the drums. I want kind of just anyone to be able to like rap over this, just to have it like real open, not too much going on. So I'm just gonna drop this down 2 semitones like that. So we'll be in B, right? We're in C sharp minor. So yeah, now we're gonna be in B minor. And then I'm gonna speed this up. Let's do like 167. I think that will sound pretty good, so it's a little bit faster. And then we just need to get started on the hi-hats. That's what I always do for these types of beats. So we're gonna 2-step it, and then we need to put the snare right here. So let's go into here, put this on 6-step, and then figure out what we're gonna do. And then let's put one right here, hold shift. Drag them down. That actually came out really bad. Let's try that again. Something like that. Probably like this. That actually sounds better. All right, before I continue on the hi-hats, I actually want to throw in the open hat and then like another snare, because I'm liking how the hi-hat's sounding, but I think this will help me out with finding a little bit more bounce for it. Sometimes I work backwards and like, I don't know, jump back and forth on stuff, but you know, it just happens when you get ideas. So let's put this first open hi-hat here. And then let's get the second one in, turn it down a little bit. I want this one to be kind of fast with it, so we could go over here like that, and then we can create how long we want this to run. And then on the snare, I'm gonna add in a second hit, probably somewhere in here or on the second snare, in between the first and the second, or the second and the third. Oh. There we go. Let's hear the whole thing. Now we could jump into my favorite part, which is putting the 808. I have a nice little pattern in my head that I think will sound real good. So I'm gonna try to record that real quick before I forget it. And it's really just playing off of the bounce that the hi-hat and the snare already have. And then I'll try to add in anything, but I'm really just gonna keep those root notes. Cause like I said, I want this to just be something that you could just flow over. It'd be crazy. So let's see. Started losing the rhythm, but that first rhythm is all we need. We could delete that part. The first bounce to it just sounds crazy. Let me quantize it and hopefully it stays how I had it. Ooh. Maybe we could put like a roll right here. Yeah, let's do one right there. Let's go in here. Let's go 3rd step. Delete that. That might be too fast. I don't know. Let's see. And And then we need to go back to cell because I'm really bad at seeing where the half mark is. And then let's try one of the notes where you kind of cut like the velocity all the way down like that, and maybe move it over. So it just cuts the 808 off just a little bit. I think that sounds really good. And then maybe I want to try to pitch this up one just for fun so we could have another vote in the comment section. So let me know if you like it down 1 semitone or down 2. Here's down 1. That's fire. I'm going with down 2 semitones because it just sounds a little bit more evil and it just has like a really good vibe to it.